Right, hello everyone and welcome back to FTRL and welcome to Silverstone for the opening round of Season 11 in F2. We've got some new faces on the grid as well as some familiar ones, but before we get to those we'll start with the familiar voices you're hearing in the commentary box. So you've got me, Blue Flag, and alongside me is Pagani. Hello my friend.
Hello, and being Britain, we're a very overcast Silverstone today, so... typical England.
Do you expect anything less? I mean, that said, it stayed dry for the F1 lads last night, so...
It did indeed. I mean, Cat is the first one out, as he does tend to be straight out on the soft tyre, so...
Yeah, we've also got Hammer Time straight out there as well.
I think all of the grid qualified on the soft tyre bar Andy yesterday, so I wouldn't read too much into weather too much. Well, for this season, we have, I believe, 4 Nexus drivers in F2. I mean, the head of Nexus doesn't actually know how many Nexus drivers there is in F2 at the moment. So that just proves that there might be a few too many. But no, it's always nice to have the boys in. So we've got a lot of old faces, but with new clan game tags. So like, there's a few more FTRL names in the list now. And obviously you've got Connor onto the podium. Just a bit of a noob, isn't he?
Yeah, I get a feeling that name's never going to change.
To be fair, he'd probably whinge about his YouTube channel, so I think he's going to keep it. But Cat will be our first person to set a lap, but he's running into a bit of traffic coming down the first straight, let's put it that way.
Well, it seems clear up ahead as he goes into Brooklands.
Well, Hijacked has to look at his helmet. I mean, it's not something I would normally do, look at another man's helmet, but...
Did he say please?
We do have a few lads out on the medium tyre. We've got Aspect, Willy Dick, City Push Blue, and Zombie. And we have Zombie out on the hard tyre, which seems a little bit odd, but it does allow you to get a few laps under your belt, get your brake and marker sorted for that one flying up at the end. So. Cat coming around the last corner with a 27.6. Which I would think should put him up 13 if he doesn't improve, because there's some very quick guys in F2 at the moment. As onto the podium, was a 10th quicker. Hammer time with a 28.2. Doesn't seem like it's a very Haas-friendly track, this one. Unless your name's Chicken Guy.
I was going to say, I think by your own standards last night you seemed to struggle. I don't think you'll mind me saying that.
I definitely did struggle. I'm going to struggle all season, but I mean that's part of league race, isn't it? You're not going to be at the front every single season. Just want to be nice, but yeah.
Well, in the early stages, I've only got 5 times set at the moment, but it is currently a Mercedes 1-2.
How would you feel about Mercedes 1-2? I mean, you do drive for Mercedes, so.
I'd be quite happy seeing a Mercedes 1-2. Especially if it was tomorrow night and I was the one.
Well, Nexus Aspect currently done a 27.7, put himself P4 on the medium tyre. It's a very good time. I think it's as quick as I went in F1 yesterday on the soft tire. So yeah. Got a few of the boys in the chat. Got Peteman as ever. Hashtag Team Ravers, hashtag Team Donzo.
Oh. There you go, Aspect. Hijacked, as requested. We just had a semi-decent shot of your helmet.
Got Foggy in the chat. Obviously, he'll be getting a bit of spying in the race, get a bit of strategy for tomorrow.
He'll also be there cheering on the Ferraris, I would think.
He will indeed. I mean, I do think it's a fairly easy one-stop if you don't have damage. From soft to mediums or mediums to softs. Right, Foggy speaking Italian. I can barely speak English, Foggy, so you'll have to forgive me that much.
So I know he's gone to Ferrari, and that is normally a sort of a contractual thing that you have to do. So
I think a man to watch tonight might be City Porsche. I mean, it's about time his look changed.
yeah, he had a couple of fairly strong showings towards the latter part of season 10, but yeah, the luck just, like you say, wasn't with him.
Well, Zumpy on those hard tyres has put at P8 currently, which is a very good lap time.
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys in the F2 chat today have been tipping Nexus Legend for pole position tonight.
He did look very strong in the pre-season race last week.
Yeah, and with the times that he's been saying that he's been doing in practice, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him top the timesheets.
I would say that the times he said he's been doing in practice are the times that were basically the front row for F1 last night, so obviously he enjoys his track. As he goes P4 on the medium tyre.
So only two drivers yet to set a time at the moment, and one of them is City Posh Blue as he comes down to Stowe.
He was
He's backing out of that.
Yeah, I think he invalidated at turn 1 because he backed out very early on this lap.
Yeah, Lee Cole is the other man not to set a time at the moment, currently in the garage.
I know last season in F3 he had a very large spin and collected the wall at Silverstone last season, so
yeah,
let's hope he's improve that set with it.
I'm fairly sure he started that race from P4 and he had an absolutely lightning start because he went past me like I was standing still.
Yeah, Lee has had enough at Stowe Corner, so that would explain why he hasn't set a time yet.
Well, Cat has improved on his second run to a 27.3. Still a tenth and a half off of Victor on pole at the moment.
I must say, Victor's looked very strong in the races he's been able to attend, so we expect good things from him this season. Not to put any pressure on him at all. Oh, Foggy's already tipping Lee Cole. Saying he's a lovely lad, great rival from F3 last season, he misses him already, so... He did make the step up, did Lee, this season, so... Will be interesting to see where he'd place among our F2 field. I mean, Hijack currently sitting up there in P3, P4 now. I don't know the podium, goes P2. But Hijack was sort of the nearly man last season. He was there or thereabouts in every race since he moved up from F3 mid-season. So I fully anticipate to see him challenging for at least top fives in more or less every race this season.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that one.
But with that improvement from on the podium, it has made the Mercedes 1-2 viable again, so...
Now we've got the return of Willie Tix to F2 this season.
We do indeed. He's in that banana. I mean, I do anticipate seeing that sliding up a couple of insides tonight. I mean... Actually, I don't. I do hope that we see the best of Willie Tix this season. He's had... Last season, he sort of couldn't make most of the races, so I just want to see him do well, have a good season under his belt again.
I was going to say, I think he had a house move and other things just stopped him from racing last season, so he's come back to us this season, so I'm sure that will please the likes of Raver's Revenge in the chat, and he can go back to his, you know, famous Willie Tix predictions.
Well, currently, P7 and P8, Rob Melson and Hammer Time are separated by 1,000th of a second. As City Porsche finds the pace that we know he has and puts it P1 currently. However, the man that's been setting very good lap times in practice is now out on the soft tyre.
Yeah, it's only Zumpy at the moment that has the medium tyre fitted. Zumpy flying the Alfa Romeo flag solo tonight with the absence of his teammate Stocky.
He is indeed. That might sort of promote other teams, as Alfa was looking like a very dominant package in the constructors this season. So, with Stocky missing race 1, does allow teams like Mercedes, who are currently 3rd and 4th, to sort of slide in there, get points early.
Yeah, well, next suspect is the first man into the 26s.
I mean, a 26 from Silverstone is a very good lap. I think we'll put him 7th or 8th on the F1 grid. So, I mean, it's not something to be shied away from. Oh, Willie Tix has... I don't know if he's crashed. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Or whether that's just retiring pit lane. Because he's happy with his lap.
I get a feeling he may have crossed the line and parked it.
With 3 minutes left to go, majority of the grid in the pit, I expect we'll get one more run from most of the guys. As Nexus Lotus is currently backwards at the old pit entry.
Victor has improved his time to a 27 flat to go back into P2. Katami's coming through club to finish his lap. Goes P3 with 27.1. Half a tenth quicker than City Posh Blue in fourth.
Oh, Cats. I don't know if that's the best he can get out of that Williams. He wasn't looking forward to the next race in that Williams, but I mean, 27.1 is a very good lap time. So Victor's trying to get back into the pit lane. I mean, I don't think he's going to get another lap out of it. No, he's not. Retired in pit lane. I would say the boys still in the pits are pushing it to try and get back out. I know I missed the cut yesterday by I think 2 seconds, so it's what, 127, 128 for a fast out lap. So I'd suggest Nexus Lotus isn't going to get another time. FTRL Hammer Time isn't going to get another time.
Donzo's gone into P9 with his latest effort.
Well, that will make Ravers quite happy, I believe. So, seeing both Toro Rossos currently inside the top 10. We've got Mr. Danny Blake in the chat, who I believe has hung up his helmet for now. He's having a break, so. And if you do ever decide to come back, Danny, let us know and we'll sort you out. You know how we are. But enjoy your break and thanks for tuning in, supporting your ex-team Williams.
So Hijack's coming down the hanger straight. He's going to get a toe off of Romelson here.
Well, Zombie isn't going to get another lap time. Just left it a little bit too long in pits.
Yeah, Hijack goes P2.
Oh, second lap into the 26s.
Onto the podium coming through the final corner.
Doesn't to 27.1.
Doesn't improve.
What can City Posh do? Also, one to watch out for is you've got Nexus Legend just going through cops. But City Posh is at the penultimate corner.
Yep, coming through club. Goes P4.
27 flat. There's not a lot in it.
I'd say it's very tight in that sort of top 6, top 7. Where's Legend coming through Stowe?
Legend do. Lee has bailed out of his lap, so he's starting from the back. .26.6 from Legend, puts himself on pole. I mean, it's closer than I thought with some of the practice times we've been seeing, but I mean, practice to the actual qualifying, all it takes is one mistake. But we have a Nexus front row. And Hijack's quite happy with his third place off the grid. I do hate it after the qualifying's finishing, the cars are running around at different speeds. It's a fair collision.
Yeah, so it's first blood to Nexus Legend in the Ferrari, taking the opening pole position of F2's Season 11. Then we've got Aspect sharing the front row with him, with Hijacked and Victor on row 2. City Posh and Cat line up 5th and 6th, with Rom and onto the podium in 7th and 8th. The top 10's rounded out by Zumpy and Willy Tix. Then we've got Nexus Cats, Donzo, Hammer Time, Nexus Lotus, Mikey, Zombie and Lee Cole brings up the pack.
I mean, whatever the weather conditions are for the race, it's going to be an interesting race. Qualifying was very close, and that looks very sunny. And we are sure this is Britain, right? And there's not a cloud in the sky. As the drivers are sorting out the... I was going to say, might be tweaks to the setup. I mean, change for a wing. But strategy will be the important one. When do you pit in this race? The undercut can give you at least half a second. So strategy will definitely play a factor.
Yep, well, we get the formation lap underway.
Nexus Legend from the front row. I mean, he's probably the hot tip for this season, and he's shown what he can do in the first qualifying session of the season. Nexus Aspect. I mean, will they all be in a party together, these Nexus boys? I'm not sure, but obviously spent a bit more time together than the rest of the boys. Hijack P3.
I've got to say that
nice.
that McLaren team is an intriguing one for me, because Lotus last season in F3 showed some real flashes of pace. So he could be a bit of a dark horse in this race, so keep an eye on him coming through the field.
One that is surprising me is Nexus Lotus in 14th for McLaren. He was very quick in F3 around Silverstone last season, as I believe you were quite well aware of.
Yeah, pretty familiar with that sentiment, yeah.
He went with the alternate strategy of starting on the medium tyres and going to the soft, but doing that today, we only have Hammer Time and Zombie. Our only two starters on the medium tyre. I'm not entirely sure about some of the comments in the stream. Foggy is very happy with looking at a Ferrari in the front row. Oxox is talking about Domino's. But we'll see. I mean, I'd be quite scared if I was Domino's man going to Oxox's house by the sounds of it, but yeah. I hope you ordered Domino's before the race, because this race could be getting quite spicy, I reckon. There was a bit of a drama at turn 1 in F1 yesterday. Let's hope that doesn't happen again tonight.
Well, everyone's on the grid, and we have 5 red lights. Season 11 is underway. It's a good start from Legend. Hijack's up alongside Aspect and got in front of him.
The car's upside down in the background. I believe Willy Tix was upside down at one point. So Willy Tix, Zombie, no front wings at all. I think Zombie got through with his front wing. Lee has no front wing. There's a lot of early damage in this race. But I believe from 11th place up, everybody has a front wing. So it looked a lot like a similar incident to yesterday's F1 race. A little bit of pinching into turn 1. I mean, it's a very difficult corner to go too wide with. Donzo's around again. But up front.
Oh, there's a Williams gone round, going into Maggots. I think that was Rom.
I'll say that'd be Rom.
Yep, he's got back on the track. Not got in anyone's way in doing so.
Well, out front, I was going to say Hijacked is very close to Nexus Legend, but he got very crossed up at the other corner. They'll be doing everything possible to try and stay in the slipstream of Nexus Legend for DRS. As Lee, as our first pit recipient, is sped into pit lane. Something very easy to do at Silverstone with only 37-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Yeah, I think I saw something flash up for Don as well at the beginning of that lap.
Well, it looks like we've got a group at the front of 5 cars that have pulled away from onto the podium. So you have Nexus Legend who's pulled a second now, doing exactly the same as he did in the pre-season race. He's very quick this season. From Hijack, Nexus Aspect, Cat has just overtaken Victor, but I think there's been some collision in there because onto the podium's just come through. I mean, the one place you don't really want contact is through cops. City Porsche and Victor are side by side. City Porsche trying to do a move around the outside, a little bit of contact. Still side by side. Still side. Oh. And City Porsche gets done round the outside. But that's brought Nexus Cats into the battle. So.
Yeah, Victor definitely struggling at the moment in that Mercedes.
What's it? Through all of that, it's allowed everybody up front to sort of pull away from each other, so there's a sort of second gap between the front 5 now. It's.
A bit further down, just outside the points, we've got Zumpy, and he's on the back of Mikey in the Haas.
Oh, Mikey clipped the curve and Zumpy's got a great exit.
Yep.
Gets down inside before the braking on. So. Puts our 1 Alpha in the top 10.
City Posh Blue still glued to the back of onto the podium's Mercedes as they come onto the hangar straight. DRS now active.
Just got on board with Nexus Legend. I think he's used most of his ERS to try and pull further away as onto the podium in City Posh. Make a little bit of contact coming out of the corner, but everything's still intact. But we have the makings of a FTRL train with onto the podium City Porsche, Victor and Nexus Cat.
Gonna say, we know how robustly onto the podium can defend position, so this is going to be no easy pass for City Posh.
Well, in the meantime, Hijack's got his act together and is caught back up to the back of Legend. He's back inside DRS range. So it might not be so open and shut as race just yet.
Yeah, I think Legend might have been doing some energy harvesting, but either way, Hijack's gonna have a real shot at getting by him going into Stowe. If he can get this part of the track right.
City Posh and Victor trying to go side by side through Maggots and Beckton. Victor's lost the back end. He's gone round.
Meanwhile, Hijack does have a run on Legend. He's up the inside into Stowe. He's ahead. He's going to hold it. They go into Vale. They're still side by side.
A very difficult part of the track to go side by side. They've managed it very cleanly.
Yeah, Legend somehow has managed to come out of that in front, but great driving between this pair.
Well, Victor went so far off the track they actually got reset the track in all of that, so he's down in 12th place now, unfortunately.
Oh, Hijacked has got up the inside of Legend through the loop.
And got DRS down the straight to defend it, so... Oh, Zumpy's got past Hamilton. And you might be able to take... Did he start on fresh, soft Zumpy? I think he started outside the top 10, didn't he? No, Zumpy started 9th. Okay. I get what I was saying. Oh, got yellow flag sector 3. Oh, that's Lee Cole. Lost it coming across the start finish line. Not a very good race for both banana cars at the moment, unfortunately.
No, currently running 16th and 17th, otherwise known as last and second last in this race.
I mean, I'm surprised we haven't had a retirement yet. That one of those bananas was upside down at turn 1, so very well put together car.
Yeah, City Posh is still stuck behind onto the podium.
Well, we've seen on the podium and Nexus Cats have a couple of battles last season, so it's interesting to see how City Posh manages to deal with both of the battling pair. But Zumpy is closing up on this trio, so... I mean, we had an FTRL train and we're about to have another one, I believe, so...
Yeah, we've still got Legend glued to the back of Hijacked.
I said dirty air through cops is not nice. And it be as dirty air through Maggots and Beckett isn't nice either, because you really struggle to hit the apex. But
Yeah, I think Hijack managed to just extend the gap a little bit through that sequence.
You should be safe this lap. DRS does bring Legend back onto the back of Hijack for the last sector. But I mean, Hammertime is still there in 9th place on the medium tyre. He's only 1.2 seconds off the 4-car train in front of him. As Rom is trying to get past Mikey. The club gets the move done. Oh. Well, we've already had a couple of comments saying onto the bus is back. I mean, I think every single member of FTRL has had some onto the bus action at some point, so... I mean, if you were in Legend's position, are you going to fight Hijack and fight him every lap, or are you just going to allow him to pull you around the track and try and save a bit of VRS?
I mean, I would probably be tempted to do the second option.
Hijack!
Oh, Hijack's gone! Or just wait for that to happen.
Yeah, he tried running the curb on the entry to Corps, but got the rear left on the grass, and yeah. Turning in on the grass doesn't lend it to finishing very well all of the time, shall we say?
So Hijacked has lost his right front end plate off the wing and is dropping down the order. He's down to 9th now.
Well, in the meantime, City pushing onto the podium. There's contact on the podium's round. As we have a few players. Zumpy, Hijack.
On the podium's one of them.
I mean, you're going to struggle to take the medium tyre at the end from here. But that has released City Porsche now.
I mean, that medium tyre might not be happy at the end, but it should be doable from what I'll be going on to lap 8 now, so could be touch and go, but I think they should be okay. Just,
I mean, I pitted earlier than most yesterday because I had to do something. I think I pitted lap 10 and I was pushing 60% on the medium tyre. It's gonna be tight. But I'm going to guess that Zumpy must have had damage because onto the podium's come out the pits in front of him. But all three have come out on the medium tyre. And Rom has caught up onto the back of Hammer Time. Some DRS passed down the inside, I believe. Unless Hammer Time's going to fight around the outside. Did think about it, but it is a very difficult one to do as Cat is our... Oh, and Nexus Legend are also in the pit lane. It is a very long pit lane in Silverstone, especially 37 miles an hour. So that leaves us Aspect, City Porsche, Nexus Cats, Rome, who haven't pitted on the soft tyre.
Mikey as well.
I'm Mikey, I just saw Haas. Is Hammer Time's fighting back on Rome? Well, front pack, Nexus Legend has come out in front. I mean, obviously Hijack with that spin, and for wing change has dropped to about 17 seconds behind Legend now. And he's in a massive fight behind onto the podium, Zumpy. And we have another quartet, this time headed by Victor. Whereas Legend has a 10-second gap of free space. Rom has re-overtaken Hammer Time in the second DRS straight. But Rom is on pit entry. As is Mikey. So front three going a bit longer. It's possible we'll give you a little bit fresher day toward the end.
Hijack's got a great run on Zumpy down a hanger.
Hammer Time's gone at turn 1. He's still going. That's probably the longest spin I've ever seen. But Legend's coming back on. Yeah, Legend gets past Hammer Time. Hammer Time keeps it safely out the way. But yeah, Hammer Time had a massive slide from turn 1 to turn 2 and nearly turn 3.
Well,
Can't imagine that's any players any good.
Hijack now on a recovery stint has come out. Well, Mikey came out alongside him but tucked in behind going into turn 3.
What was it? In the process, Hijack has just got past Zumpy.
Yep, got that done up the inside. Yeah, around the outside of Stowe, I think it was.
Well, Rom is also, since he's pitted, has come up just in front of Victor. So we have Rom, Victor onto the podium, Hijacked, Mikey, Zumpy, all in the same tray. So
Yeah, it's a very busy track they're on.
It is, but it looks like on the podium just fallen back off his teammate that little bit as Aspect is in pit lane.
Yeah, well, at the moment Connor's out of DRS range of Vitinho, and Hijacked is going to get some DRS off of the Mercedes.
Well, Hijack is practically pushing on the podium through through the corner, trying to go side by side.
Oh, it's contact.
Contact! I mean, on the podium, just left enough space up the inside, and I don't know if Hijack just clipped the curb and pushed the car a little bit to the left, but contact was made, unfortunately. So Hijack has to do another recovery drive on the recovery drive was already doing. So
Cat has closed on to the back of Zombie's Ferrari in the fight for P6. Zombie not pitted as yet off of that medium tyre.
that medium tyre is, I don't know, it doesn't seem to wear, but it just doesn't seem to give much grip from like lap 8. It just doesn't like it. But our front two of City Porsche and Nexus Cats are both in pit lane, so this should give Legend the lead of the race part.
Got Aspect on fresh mediums versus Hammer Time on some rather worn ones.
I think the tyres may have been screaming after that very long spin. But
Now I think Nexus Cats has got the jump on City Posh Blue in the pit lane.
oh, Victor's trying to go around the outside of City Porsche down the inside. Now, on side by side of the King of Water Straight.
Yep. Well, Aspects just sailed up the inside of Hammer Time at Brooklands and held the inside
DRS.
at Luffield.
City Porsche around the outside, gets the move done. But it's looking like a very busy battle pack. Nexus Lotus also in the pit, so is Willie Tix, so they'll be going to the end from here. In the intermediate period, it looked like Zombie's got passed on the podium. And now Mikey's has got into DRS range on the podium, so a few battles going on at the moment. I mean, now the question is for the guys that started on the medium is when do you pit? I mean, we've seen tyres that have been qualified on for the softs lasting 10 laps, so fresh ones, maybe 11, maybe 12 if you can stretch them a little bit. Peteman has suggested a question, but I'm not going to read it out because it's already jinxed he's wrote it. So
I was going to say I've read it for myself.
I've read it, but I'm not going to answer it until after the race. I mean, I'd have thought Cat would have been closing in on Hammer Time a little bit quicker than he is with those freshest medium tyres, but Hammer Time isn't really falling off the back of Aspect. So after that slight spin, Hammer Time sort of picked his pace back up and is sort of running top 3 pace at the moment. So Oh, we've got a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. I've just seen Hijack come back onto the track at a very weird angle through Maggots and Beckett's. So, I was using an escape road, so I think he's had a wiggle somewhere. It was City Porsche, that's fastest lap. He's within 3/10 of Rom. Been a very busy race for City Porsche at the moment. Oh, Lee's gone round. Cops has claimed him once again. Claimed him last season in F3. I'm not sure, I don't think that Renault has a front wing, but I can't tell from the angle I have.
City Posh thought about a move into Brooklands. But decided it wasn't worth risking his wing for.
Yeah, Lee has unfortunately lost his front wing at Cops. Did the same last season. Obviously that setup still needs a little bit of a tweak, and he's been pinged for speed and again in the pit lane. I think he must think it's 50 miles an hour. But at least he's going quickly somewhere, so that's good. As Cat sails past Hammer Time. I don't think Hammer Time wanted to fight it too much, but he's thought about it up the inside of like sector 1. Not entirely sure why.
Yeah, well, I think Rom has managed to up his pace a little bit and has caught onto the back of Nexus Cats. Nexus Cats is within DRS range of Zombie. So we've got another train formed.
FTRL train. Seems to be a good track for making an FTRL train. We've got yellow flag sector 1 again, is it? I think it's Leeds going out the pits, letting a few cars past. Got Foggy asking, what's the longest stint I've gone without a DNF? Probably last season when I finished 8 races. That sounds really bad for like 3 years of league racing. But yeah, I do quite like a DNF. Wait, you said that Rom had brought his base up, but he's... Oh!
We've lost Hammer Time.
Oh, Rom's gone! He's spun, coming out of Maggots Beckett's. Pete, that's your fault. The question that we got from Pete was, has there ever been an FTRL league race with no retirements? # jinx.
Oh.
Well, there might have been, but there's not going to be one tonight.
Well, Nexus Cats overtook Zombie round the outside of Stowe, and Zombie bailed into the pit lane, so that's allowed City Posh up another position.
Well, Zombie is now, with Hammer Time's retirement, going to be the only person now on the soft tyre at the end of this race. But with Zombie coming to the pit lane, it's allowed City Porsche to get on the back of Cats again. I mean, Nexus Cats thought, oh, I've overtaken someone that'll put a car in between us and we'll crack on, but no, City Porsche is now back in that gap again. Peteman says he accepts no responsibility whatsoever. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things being going on in this race, but we're still only on lap 16 of 26. So, but Nexus Legend is looking very good. With 8.5 seconds lead over Aspect.
City Posh has got past Cats going into Stowe. Wasn't too much of a fight from the Racing Point driver. But yeah, Legend's been pretty much untroubled since hijacked spin on lap 6.
if I was Nexus Cats, I'd use City Porsche because City Porsche is looking very quick at the moment. Maybe use them to try and catch up to the back of Cat. I mean, it's a 6-second gap. But even if it can just pull away from Victor, like, rather than fight amongst themselves now. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, being a race driver, you do just want to overtake everybody as soon as possible. Well, Rom, after his spin, has come back onto the track in P10 just in front of his good mate Hijacked. So I know those two are in a party together, so if Hijack closes up this 2.5 seconds, it'll be interesting to see how they battle each other. But Rom is on the back of Mikey, and I have to look a little bit wide through Margaret and Beckett. DRS, you'd think it's going to be an easy move from Rom. Gets the move done, puts the Williams driver back into 9th place. With Hijack trying to make a comeback on his comeback. Obviously he thought the first comeback wasn't enough work, so I just thought, get myself a little bit more to do.
Well, I'm wondering if Nexus Cats heard your earlier comment, because he is hanging on to City Posh and they are starting to extend that gap back to Victor slightly.
I was going to say, they pulled, my City Porsche has pulled nearly a second on Cat. So they are catching that Williams, and that Williams of Cat has decided to go into a hot lap and overtake an ERS, so he's trying to push, he's seen him catching him.
He's felt he's had to respond.
I mean, City Porsche is a very good driver. Like, I'd say he's top tier quality, he just has had no luck whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see if he can catch that gap a bit more. As comes from Tom Smith, who will win the most races this season across all divisions?
That's a very interesting question, that one.
It's a very interesting question. It's a very difficult question with us only having pre-season finished. I think F1 there's about 12 different drivers capable of winning. So that's
I don't think it's going to be anyone from F1 personally. If I had to pick someone out of the 60 drivers we've got on our books, based on what I've seen from pre-season, I would probably be tempted to say possibly Sam Saunders in F3.
I would say it's between Sam Saunders in F3 and Nexus Legends in F2. That they both look very quick. I mean, Nexus Legend is currently just chilling out front and seems quite happy about it, so. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what Sam Saunders have got in the full race. I mean, he looked very quick in pre-season. I mean, we'll see if he can pull away from you tomorrow.
What
sort
do you
of
mean?
use a yardstick.
I was going to say, what are you using me as a yardstick for?
Well,
I'm slower than a snail in treacle.
He's still quicker than me, so it's hard.
Right, well, enough about my pace or lack of. Hijack Gaming's caught up to the back of Mikey.
And proceeds to overtake Mikey on DRS.
And Willie Tix has caught the back of Donzo.
Well, I mean, River said earlier that Willie Tix is a change of man now, so we're not anticipating to see any dive bombs, but very hard to take the dive bombs out with a man. So we'll see. But yeah, Nexus Cats is staying in DRS range in City Porsche, so
they're still keeping that like 2 second gap back to Victor. but City Posh he's taken another second and a half out of Cat since I last saw, maybe 2 laps ago.
So,
and there goes Willie ticks up the inside of Donzo. Gets it done at Stowe.
Well, we had a response from Hammer Times. Yeah, he was trying to drive that car, but yeah. I mean, the setup's just off a little bit around here. It shows massively, and I think that slide has just come back to haunt him. Unfortunately. Well, onto the podium is sort of ranging onto the back of Zumpy at DRS range at the moment, exactly 1 second. But onto the podium has a lot of VRS remaining. They've got 75%. Which compared to everybody else in the field is quite a lot. But I think Cat would have to fall off the cliff tyre life wise for City Push to get close enough. It's sort of 2 or 3 tenths a lap at the moment, and we've got 5 laps to go. Gonna be close, but I think it's just out of reach. Just.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the penalty situation is, but I've not seen too many pop up, so...
I've seen a couple for...
I know Lee's been pinged twice for speeding in the pits.
Yeah. I mean, it is a very easy track to get warnings at.
Oh, there's Zumpy picking one up. I, like Peatman, take no responsibility for that event occurring. Right, onto the podium is now within DRS range of Zumpy.
He is indeed, and he saved that ERS as well, so currently he's just driving faster than Zumpy. My entire life is the same, so... But I mean, there's driving quicker than somebody and there's getting past somebody, it's 2 very different things.
Cat has lost 7 tenths of a second to City Posh somewhere in that last lap.
Well, that wasn't my fault. Not yet. No, Willie takes it, picked up a 3-second time penalty. Oh, he's also lost the back end at Magaton Beckerton is in the wall. He's lost the front wheel. We're down to a singular banana. Oh, onto the podium to go past Zumpy. Zumpy's round.
I say, where'd Zumpy go? That's typical. I just moved off of that battle to see what was going on with Cats and City Posh, and Zumpy disappeared.
That's the all pit entry. Very difficult to get a car over there, so I don't know if there was contact or if it was just... Oh, those rear tyres are overheated for Zumpy now. Gotta be very careful through Magaton Beckett with overheated rear tyres. It does that very well.
Yeah, City Posh is on the charge.
Nexus Aspect just set a fastest lap on 12 lap old medium tyres. We saw something very similar from Zach last night. So it looks like his mediums just get better and better as the fuel wears off. So but yeah, as you say, City Posh has claimed what, 2 seconds in 2 laps now?
I was going to say, he's pulled a second on Nexus Cats this lap and closed right up to FTRL Cat.
I mean, he's sort of been in a cat fight most of this race, but... I mean, I'd say in F2, there's 2 people you don't want to have to overtake at the end of the race. One of them is on the podium, the other one is Cat. They will fight tooth and nail to hold on a position. but Silverstone is very difficult, especially with the second DRS straight. There's a lot of track, you can't defend all of it. So, and that Williams looked very sketchy through Maggott and Beckett. Well, Nexus Legend has responded to set fastest lap to take it away from Nexus Aspect, so...
Yeah, well, we have fought back the fastest lap point this season, so... Right, that extra point is there for guys finishing in the top 10.
I mean, I do hope that they don't try too hard for fastest lap and end up spinning. But we've seen it before. As City Porsche is right on the back of Cat now. Cat's gone defensive, but City Porsche got DRS. Goes to the outside. Cat parks on the apex. City Porsche trying for the switchback, but I put you on the outside. Cat places the car very nicely to defend the position. But he's got to do that for another 2 laps after this one.
Let's have the charge that City Posh has been on in this stint.
He's got... Oh!
It's going to be easier said than done.
Run. Oh! City Posh with a lot of overspeed through Maggott and Beckett, but he had the lift because Cat just couldn't get towards the apex. And Victor goes right on the back of Nexus Cats now as well. So we've got 2 very close battles, one for 3rd, one for 5th. Yeah, City Porsche has got a visually quicker car, but like I say, Cat is very good at defending. It's going to be DRS this lap. He did try and go around the outside last lap with DRS, City Porsche, so...
Oh, he's gone!
Clipped the curb! He's gone round!
Just when he looked set for a possible podium.
Well, he's got the car back on track, but down in P8 now. With tyres that will be very hot. Victor and Nexus Cat are very close together, and Nexus Cat was very sideways through cops. But these two are only a second away from Cat now as well. Got Agent Panda in the chat cheering on Cat. There's Victor goes to the outside of Nexus Cats. The ERS past Nexus Cats got very low ERS.
Oh, the leading pair have started their final lap.
Rom is closing in on the back of onto the podium at a very rapid rate of knots, and Zumpy is closing in on the back of Mikey as well.
Yeah, well, Cat's not out of the woods yet either because Victor's looking racy. He can sniff a podium.
Was it a 3-car battle for the last podium place? I mean, we've seen Cat, we know what he can do, he will throw everything to get in this podium place.
Well, I'm just looking at the ERS on Cat and Victor's at a disadvantage.
Because he is, but he will have DRS on the back straight, which Cat won't. And Cat's had a couple of bad runs through Maggots and Beckett's the last couple of laps. Nexus Lotus has spun at the last corner. Not the last corner, the one coming off the main straight. But here
So
we go.
this is it, last throw of the dice then.
Nexus Legend crosses the line to win the race.
Cat's going to have to defend, and he does.
I'd say he's got one more corner to defend from because it's very difficult to overtake at the last one.
Cat should hold that podium.
gonna do it, Cat.
He's going to do it on the road. Yep. And Victor had penalties, so Nexus Cats get to P4.
Brom's got passed onto the podium. City Posh has overtaken on the podium in penalties, so a hijacked finish at P9, which I don't think they're very happy with, but a very solid comeback drive to get back in the points. Zumpy claims our last point in 10th place. And just in front of Mikey on the road. Mikey had a couple penalties. Zombie comes home in P12. Now, we didn't focus on Legend much that race, but after that little incident with Hijack where I clipped the grass going into Corpse, Legend just sort of sat out front and dominated the race like he did in pre-season. Looks like it could be a very strong season for him this season.
Well,
but Nexus Aspect will be wanting to show what he can do.
Well, as part of podium interviews this season, we're going to be inviting a fourth finisher to the interviews for a notable race. Who is that going to be tonight? I mean, I think despite his late spin, I think City Posh would be a good shout for it. Or maybe Nexus Cats.
Like I said, a couple of the boys weren't available last night for the interview, so we'll see how we can get in first. But I shall invite City Posh first. I'll get the boys in here. I mean, I know the Nexus boys wanted a triple podium, well they managed to get two of the boys on there tonight, so... I mean, we've got Iceman singing in the YouTube comments. I mean, that's more than does in a podium interview. So.
Right, well, our race winner can't join us.
Cool.
Which is a shame.
Oh, Cat's on FTRL, Cat, isn't he? Not Cat, mate. Right. Well, Aspect managed to join us. So.
Yep. Legendi doesn't have a mic, by the way, so he won't be joining, fortunately.
Cool. Well, I might try and get both Cats in here then, as well as City Boy. Might as well have a full house. Cool. Well, everybody's been invited, so we'll see who turns up.
And if this happens to be it, so be it.
I was gonna say we have second and third in here, so Nexus Aspect and FTRL Cats. Well, we're wrestling, they've not been able to join us. I mean, if we want to crack on, see who joins.
Well, yeah, so to you two lads that have joined us, can you just make sure that your voices are allowed to be shared?
Yes, like always. Yep.
we'll get while we're waiting. So start with Aspect. A solid P2 for you. Seemed like apart from the early laps, seemed like a fairly quiet and lonely race for you. Sort of big gap in front and a safe gap behind at the end.
Yeah. Quali was pretty good. I was actually pretty happy with my lap. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lap in at the end because I had ran out of fuel. That was kind of my fault. If I ran a bit more fuel, then I probably could have got back to the pits and got out in time. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get my last lap in. But I think P2 was more or less the most I could get because Agenda is a little bit quicker than me. So yeah, I was happy with the P2. And then at the start, obviously, Hijack's got me off the line and he was challenging Legende. Unfortunate for him, I have to say. He probably would have been up there for the win, at least. Or with me fighting for P2. I'm not sure how it would have went at the end. Legende did seem to have quite a bit of pace. So I know for sure Hijack could have been there, so it's unfortunate for him. But yeah, as you said, my race overall was just kind of just controlling the gap behind, just being calm, just not really pushing too much, just trying to get a healthy gap behind really. And obviously I did that, so quiet race and happy with the P2.
Yeah, it's certainly a good way to start the season. Now, before you came into the race tonight, did you have any sort of expectations or goals for the season?
Well, for this race specifically, I was kind of expecting a podium because obviously, if you remember back to the last season, I was quite close to Deneen and he's in F1 now, obviously, so I was expecting...
Sure.
A podium from here, and obviously I got that quite comfortably, so that was good. Overall with the season, I'd say I would be going for promotion. I'd say the championship is a little bit far off. I think Legende just has something on all of us, it seems, so I'd say I'd be going for a promotion for sure, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, and just one final question from me. You've got Russia next week. Have you done much racing around Russia on this game? Does it treat you well, or is it one that you sort of just want it to pass by and...
Russia, for me, I do like the track quite a lot. I think I am quite quick around it, although I've never actually done a league race around there before, so it would be my first league race around Russia ever on any game. But yeah, overall I seem pretty happy with the track, I guess. Pace seems good, so maybe I'd be looking at another podium, but I'll certainly have to do a bit of practice for it beforehand, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, massive congratulations tonight, and maybe we'll speak to you next week.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we've got a pair of cats left.
First time, I think.
It is indeed. Well, we'll start with FTRL Cat, or Catamies, or however you know him. Obviously P3 today. Started in P6 in quali. Was that where you wanted to be in quali, or did you expect a little bit more? Or
That was close to what I expected, because I'm not. I usually have no pace at Silverstone, so it was around where I imagined myself.
Well, I mean, start of the race, it just seemed like you were holding your own. You were up there. It was, I mean, the bulk of your race we watched at the end. I think the last 4 or 5 laps you were fighting, and it was sort of, right, we know what Cart's got. He will give 110% for not one car to overtake him for this podium. He's going to get it. Like, you basically turn into a bigger version of Onto the Bus. Like, Obviously, P3, we don't see you on the podium enough. So, is that going to change this season?
Could you repeat the question?
Like, we don't see you on the podium enough. Is that going to change this season? Does the calendar suit you? Is it?
Yeah, the calendar is perfect for me. So my expectations are really high, and yeah, there's all the tracks that I love are on the calendar. So
I mean, obviously you weren't overly impressed with the car you were given this season.
yeah, I would have probably won the race if I wouldn't be in that Williams.
I mean, you've managed to drag Williams from the depths of despair into the podium, so I'd be feeling quite good if I was you. I mean,
Yeah, so it felt like Williams in real life for the last few laps because it was so slow. I just tried to push, and then City Push Blue was like 1 second faster than me in every lap, and but then I just managed to keep him behind. I don't know what happened to him in.
It looked like he
I think
clipped the curb coming onto the first straight and just got on the power at the same time, and it just spun on the inside, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see a lot of tracks coming up. Your intentions for the season? Are you looking to get on the podium most races? A championship challenge, get promoted?
I think the championship is too far, but my aim is to be in the top 3 in the championship.
Nice. It would be nice to see you promoted back to F1.
Yeah, back with the big boys.
I mean, the rate I'm going, I'll be back in F2 by the end of the season, so... But no,
I don't think so.
It's always good to chat to you on the podium, so congrats on the podium, and I hope to see you back on the podium again this season. So, congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
And finally, we have Nexus Cats. He finished P4 in the race. Congratulations. Welcome to Podium Interview. Just before I get right into it, can you just double check that you've got your voice allowed to be shared for me?
I know it is on this account. I've checked many times, so
okay,
good.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, you started from P11, and I think you've managed to gain the most positions of anyone on the grid tonight, so well done for that.
Thank you.
P4, how are you feeling with that?
I think it's my my best finish in FTRL so far, so I'm definitely happy about that. And I feel it's quite nice, considering that I finished I qualified 11th, so it's an accomplishment.
Yeah, certainly is. Now, after you came out of the pits and you were overtaken by City Posh Blue, I don't know whether or not you had the stream on in the background or you may have telepathically heard Pagani, but you seemed to heed his instruction because he said that maybe it'd just be worth sitting behind and following City Posh Blue and try and have him drag you towards Cat, because City Posh did seem to have some good pace at that stage in the race. Did that enter your mind, or was it just the way it played out?
Well, of course I was aiming for a podium, so I was just trying to keep with him all the time, and I did not have the stream in the background, so it must be some telepathic things.
Yeah, well, it very nearly worked out for you. As you say, it did get you to your best finishing position in FTRL to date, so again, congratulations for that. What are you hoping for out of this season?
Oh, I don't know. Definitely a top 10 finish. Because I feel like that's probably the most likely. Top 5 is probably not going to happen, but somewhere between 5th and 10th in the championship is definitely realistic.
Well, if you can manage to drive like you did tonight for the rest of the season, then I see no reason why you won't be a top 10 driver at the end of it. So yeah, good luck for the rest of the season, and we'll hopefully speak to you again sometime further down the road.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add, Pagani?
No, it's just like a typical F2 race. Like, all seem to heat up towards the end, so hopefully that continues for the rest of the season. I mean, I'm going to guess that you're going to do our main self at tomorrow's race.
if must. So yeah, that's it's 2 down, 1 to go. Just got the F3 guys to get their season off up and running. So join us tomorrow night on the channel at 8 PM and catch the F3 action. And also making a welcome return this season, we've got our performance division on Thursday, and we have GT Sport season starting up again on Friday. So still plenty of racing to be done this week. So keep your eyes peeled and tune in if you can. Thanks for joining us. Good night.